Oh, welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, it's January the 12th and it's just starting to warm up. So by the time you see this, hopefully most of the snow ice will have gone, and hopefully there won't be too much damage done. And to start off with, I'd just like to mention we've heard some very sad news about Ronald Shaw. If you followed his channel, his gardening was in his car parking area and he was looking after his wife Susan. She passed away just before the new year, I believe, and Ronald passed away shortly afterwards. So very, very sad indeed, and it just does bring it into perspective how precious life is. And I've took the decision to spend a bit more time on the DIY and the allotment, of course, but not so much filming. So I might just upload a video once a month just to let you know what I'm up to or what I'm not up to. The temporary compost bins, I keep filling them, they keep sinking, so we shall have plenty of homemade compost for the potatoes this year. And all of this plot 3, has now had the fresh wood chips, just a scattering, just to make everything look pleasing to the eye. It won't be long before I'm chopping and dropping that green manure. I'll harvest the rest of the Brussels sprouts and we can get some black currants planted as soon as the weather just warms up a little bit. We don't want frozen ground, etc. We'll dig that blueberry bush out that's up there, get that out into the share area at our site. But the fruit cage is almost ready now. Be a week or two before I add the liquid manure to give them a little nitrogen boost, and then we'll feed them comfrey during the flowering and fruiting season. I've got another 8 bags of wood chips now on plot 1. We can't do nothing in the cabbage cage because everything's frozen solid, so we're not going to disturb the strawberries or the giant vegetables that are hoping to go to seed, but we can refresh the wood chips there. I've got to decide whether I'm taking out all the blackberries at that end and then potting up some of these raspberries here. I'm not going to do it all in one go, because if you do, you could end up with nothing at all. But this row here eventually will be completely gone, and we'll have raspberries there and the blackberries here. These blackberries here do better than at that end, so we'll have half and half. And as we've said before, we probably cut the rhubarb down a little bit. Got so much fruit in the freezers, unbelievable. I found some of these laths off a bed. Somebody's dumped everything. And I found a massive compost dump, but it's mainly cocoa coir. And it looked like it was a real big grow, but of course everything's rock solid. So there's no way to find out whether there's any clay balls in there or whether the root ball is so big that it's just not viable to collect and to sort out, especially when we've got plenty of everything else. And of course we can't start filling the galvanised drums up until most of the stuff thaws out. So it's just a little, can't do the wood chips now because we're still creating the pallet collar beds. We've still got materials scattered all over the place to fill those galvanised drums. So I thought I'll see if I can tackle the hedge this morning. I've got about an hour before I make another start. So I've got my long-handled SeeSii mini chainsaw, just a 6-inch, but it'll be ideal. up there, so I'm not sure how things are going to go, so it will be pause and record just in case I do something silly. The wife bought a nice big bag of bark to do some decorations in the house, taking all the large pieces of that nice bark that you can get. The rest of that will go in here. But as you can see, it's a bit of a dumping ground, and my friend the rat isn't very happy being sat out here in the cold. He wants to be buried in the tank to add a little bit of bone to the mix. Those branches don't look very thick until you cut them down. Make some nice firewood in 2 or 3 years' time. Still got the bricks to sort out. I've got to throw those under there. I'm not going to move them. Stick them under there. But I want to get all this hedge cut back before the nesting bird season comes. So I'll give it a go today. And then if I can't fix it, I'll know what equipment I need to get up there. I'm not sure whether I can still get down the back. So I might have to move some junk. Anyway, we'll give it a go. I'm warm now, guys. Well, that certainly looks better, and thank goodness for thermal gloves. So when I originally started this allotment all those years ago, I cut it right back to the wall. I'm glad I did, because it does give me a nice walking area. So that was at least some good planning. Trouble is, I've left it so long. Ah dear, one job leads to another. But it certainly let a lot more light in. But trouble is, I think it was only the holly hedge that was holding it up, so I'm going to have to create some extra supports, probably actually put some battens in, and connect to the hedge. But other than that, you can see those fence panels now lit up a bit more. I've got about another 2 meters to do, but I'm running out of time. And I would like to tidy a bit of this up. But before we go, just want to show you what damage can be done by frozen wet ground. This is my Jerusalem artichoke bed. Now, do I blame the artichokes? I won't know until I physically take that board out. It might be because I didn't put enough screws in. And looking at that in the middle of the screen there, look, I've got 2 screws there, but I didn't put them there, so those screw in the middle of the screen hasn't been holding on to it very well. So that was mind you saying that, I haven't done it there either, so going to have to add a few screws to that. Lesson learned, but we should be able to scratch enough soil out and maybe do a little mini harvest from there and get it back together. But with all the wet, some of the beds are struggling. That's been rotten for quite a while, but I do need to do something with that at some stage. The rest of the beds are looking okay. So my intentions are, going forward, is to do a plot tour on the last Sunday at 8 PM of every month. Going forward, work is going to get really extreme. Mrs. K's health is very good at the moment, but with the things she wants to get done in the house. I might share those with you as well. But now I can potter up here for half an hour and just cut this up, either put it in the green bin or get it ready for a small fire, because holly does tend to get a bit hot when it burns. It looks a lot, but once it's all trimmed up and we have those logs, those bits there for logs in the future, even the smaller bits, and then we can think about filling this. We'll see how things go. From a very cold, solid allotments. If you've liked the content, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for the interaction. Leave me a comment on any subject you like. We love the comments, that's where we learn. And why not consider subscribing? Things can only get better. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.